Okay. Hi everyone. I just want to say I really miss you guys and I hope everyone is doing well. It was great seeing all your responses on the first warm up for online learning. I realized how much you guys miss school and we really miss you guys. I miss you guys so much. I miss being in the classroom with you all. Um I miss just our little interactions, and being in the classroom is so much better than doing this online learning thing. I really miss seeing you guys and having all that interaction with you, seeing that everyone face to face, greeting you guys at the door. Today, I think, well, let me preface this. I'm at home. You might hear my dog Georgie barking from time to time. I think right now you might have just heard him barking. Just letting you know, you can ignore him. Today we're doing a news article reading. It's same format as usual, what we always do. We get an article, we break it down by what's noteworthy, what the evidence is, what it has to do with you, and the science connection. We'll do that today with the article called Clearing the Way to Acne-Free Days. It's by Jolie Johnson Mork, and it is published through Chem Matters Online. And Chem Matters is put out through the American Chemical Society. They make articles and little magazines for middle school and high school age students, and they talk about chemistry in real life. This issue of the magazine came out in December 2016, January 2017. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I might take a break from time to time to drink some coffee because I get thirsty as I read. You can follow along on the link you have to the article, or you can just listen to me read. Up to you. But I'm going to go ahead and get started. Megan tried all the possible products on the market. She spent a lot of time and money and got only dried out, but still broken out skin in return. Then came what Megan calls the upper lip breakout of 2014. It was earth-shattering, I mean. My sister started calling my zit stash. It lasted almost a whole year. Megan was desperate. Hopefully, your breakouts won't be as bad as Megan's. Even minor acne, however, can be a serious problem. While no one has ever died of pimples, acne can have such a big impact on self-esteem and confidence that experts consider treatment essential. Unfortunately, 80 to 90% of teenagers will have to cope with their share of acne, but they are not the only ones. As unfair as it may sound, people in their 30s and even 40s can still experience breakouts. More than 17 million United States residents see spots when they look in the mirror. What causes acne, though? In technical terms, pimples are called acne vulgaris, and Propionibacterium acnes are the bacteria responsible for stirring up all that trouble. Interestingly, P. acnes is found on almost everyone's skin, whether or not pimples are visible. This common anaerobic organism needs certain conditions in which to create its signature brand of havoc, and the main requirement is an excess of oil. The other contributing factor is an overgrowth of skin cells. Our bodies produce plenty of oil on purpose. Once this slick substance called sebum makes its way to the surface of our skin, it becomes a barrier that works in two ways. One, it limits the amount of water that sinks into our skin, and two, it prevents us from losing too much water through our skin. Also, sebum protects the skin from bacterial and fungal infections. But you can have too much of a good thing. I think we all know that. Too much food, too much coffee, too much good stuff can sometimes lead to some bad consequences. Anyways, back to the article. Sebum comes from sebaceous glands located inside hair follicles, not from pores, which are the openings to sweat glands. Sebum is composed of lipids or fats, which do not dissolve in water, which is why sebum can keep both water outside and inside the skin. So sometimes stuff like that doesn't work well with water is called hydrophobic, scared of water. Sebum contains a large variety of different lipids, but the exact composition of sebum varies with a person's age. When too much sebum is produced, a follicle can become blocked, allowing the oil along with dead skin cells to build up. Add some P. acnes bacteria to the mix, and you have all of the ingredients for a slow-growing infection that will lead to swelling, redness, and inflammation. In other words, a big, nasty zit. Pimples can be spotted by that telltale bulge they create in the skin. Dead skin cells and oils collect in the opening to the hair follicle, producing a bump called a comedo. Sounds like torpedo to me. If the skin over the bump stays closed, the bubble is called a whitehead. When the skin over the bump opens, exposure to the air causes it to look black due to oxidation. And another type of pimple called a blackhead forms. An acne infection that happens deep within a hair follicle produces the dreaded, painful, and lumpy pimple called a cyst. That's why sometimes you hear that people have cystic acne. It's because it's that type, the one that's a little deeper. Okay, page 2, diet and acne. Acne affects most young people, preteens and 20-somethings. That's you guys and me. Sebum production is under the control of the sex hormones, the most active of which is testosterone. Also known as androgens, these hormones stimulate sebaceous gland cells to produce more sebum. Higher levels of androgens encourage bigger breakouts. In the 1960s and 1970s, studies and news stories sounded the alarm that eating chocolate, soft drinks, and basically anything with added sugar was the main cause of pimples. The evidence, however, was shadowy at best due to flawed research. But new research shows that androgens are not the only chemical that influences sebum production. Insulin-like growth factor 1, IGF-1, and a series of other chemical compounds also increase sebum and are implicated in the development of acne. Insulin is a storage hormone that helps control blood glucose levels. Eating processed carbohydrates will cause insulin levels to increase. Anytime insulin increases, so does IGF-1, which stimulates sebum-producing cells to increase sebum production. IGF-1 also makes skin cells grow faster and stimulates the production of more androgens. The effects of these chemicals may point the way to the link between diet and pimples. Okay. Better living through chemistry. What you eat may affect your pimple production, but it will take time and dedication to your diet to find out. If you need more or faster help, there are numerous over-the-counter and prescription treatments for acne. Start with products that you can buy without a prescription, such as cleansers, scrubs, masks, or spot treatments that aim to remove dead skin cells, kill bacteria, or minimize oil production. Benzoyl peroxide, C4H10O4, is a popular over-the-counter antimicrobial compound that kills P. acnes by preventing the organism from reproducing. In addition, benzoyl peroxide is lipophilic, meaning it can dissolve in oil, making it the perfect weapon to penetrate deep into pimples. This ingredient can be found in gels, creams, lotions, and cleansers. I think that's a pretty common one we've heard before. If you have acne treatment stuff at home, a face wash, maybe a toner, maybe a cream, a spot treatment, you can check the back and see if it has benzoyl peroxide. Or maybe it'll have the next chemical called salicylic acid. So, salicylic acid, figure 3, is another over-the-counter treatment that can be useful for acne without causing irritation or dryness. It does not kill the bacteria. Instead, it loosens and removes the outermost layer of skin and unclogs hair follicles. If you need stronger measures, your doctor might prescribe topical or oral antibiotics, which have been used against moderate acne for more than 50 years. A cautionary note about using antibiotics is that the bacteria may become resistant to the drugs, making them useless. So you got to be careful with the antibiotics. If you're using antibiotics, you got to make sure that you finish it. So anytime you get prescribed antibiotics, finish them. That's usually what your doctor tells you anyway. For For moderate to severe acne that does not respond to other treatments, the most common prescription medication includes a class of potent chemical compounds known as retinoids, which are related to vitamin A. Applied topically, these drugs have exfoliating and anti-inflammatory effects, but they take a few weeks or more to work and can also cause your acne to get worse before it gets better. Probably not something that most of us would want to use if we know it's going to get worse before it gets better. We all want that immediate, quick fix. We want it gone. If you are a woman, your dermatologist might prescribe oral contraceptives or a drug called spironolactone to help control severe acne. Birth control pills work by regulating hormone levels but also pose a slightly increased but serious risk of blood clots. Spironolactone also blocks the influence of androgens on the sebaceous glands, reducing oil production in the skin and improving acne. Find what works for you. So today there are many ways to treat pimples, including managing insulin by eating more low glycemic foods and fewer processed carbohydrates, using over-the-counter products that contain salicylic acid or benzoyl peroxide, and finding a dermatologist who might recommend prescription lotions or pills. If you are one of the many of us who deal with pimples on a regular basis, keep in mind that pimples won't last forever. Megan was able to laugh about her truly awful breakouts at least some of the time, and things did get better for her and her skin. Finding the right makeup and cleanser for my oily and sensitive at the same time skin helped, she said, and so did getting older. Okay, so just you want to go through and reflect, what was noteworthy about this article, maybe the chemical connection to some of the acne treatments you have at home. So salicylic acid and benzoyl peroxide, how they work to basically combat the acne and the bacteria that causes the acne. Evidence, anything that you found, any data that you found in the article would be great. Why is this important to you, or what does this have to do with you? Reflect, do you suffer from acne at home? Do you know anyone that has acne? Are you prone to acne? Anything like that. And then the science connection, again, related. How does this relate to specifically chemistry? I think going into the salicylic acid and the benzoyl peroxide would be really, really great. Don't forget to write a summary. Maybe, you talk about what methods you've used and what works for you and what doesn't. Maybe, reflect on what you think, is a great way to treat it, what you feel like is easier for you. Maybe you feel like, hey, I don't have acne. I don't have to worry about this. But this was, something that you can share with a friend or someone that you know that maybe does suffer from acne. I hope this interested you and was something a little more fun than some of the other news article readings that we've done. And yeah, thank you for following along. I hope me reading this helped